representative of this series added to the Test match half-century. Here in Trinidad, it is his 6th in one-day internationals, and he is one young player who's been given the extension.
Nepal will be waiting for Kushal as well to unleash and explode in the middle. Missed out in that last game of theirs. Meanwhile, for the first time in this game, we'll be seeing spin. It's going to be Harsh Thakur. He's had his moments in this edition. Yeah, similar delivery got Shikhar Dhawan out the other day.
And that would have been the biggest moment of his career. Getting Shikhar Dhawan out bowled. He'll be talking about it to his children, grandchildren, showing them the videos. Terrific delivery that was from Harsh Thakur. Also bowled the 19th over and went for a lot of runs, remember. But no Rajbanshi. Harsh Thakur bowling to the left-hander. Good 3 deliveries. He's been stump to stump. He's not offered width. His length has been good. Little bit of bounce as well for him.
Yeah, he's just trying to follow the bat over here. Karil tried to make room. He spoke about Shikhar Dhawan. Very happy birthday, Mr. Gabbar. Celebrating his birthday in Nepal.
Wishing you a great day, Sheikhs. You're watching.
I'm sure the Karnal Yaks have something special planned for Shikhar Dhawan today. He'll just want to enjoy this day.
Played a good innings yesterday. Started off slow. 10 made up towards the end. 71 he made yesterday. Very, very good knock. Last ball of Harsh Thakur's first over in the 4th of the innings. Andres Gauss.
He's begun well. Just the 1 run. Good start here. 25 for no loss.
को उत्कृष्ट उत्पादन डिलाइट डेयरी व्हाइटनरले अब हरेक दिन डिलाइटफुल.
Watch NPL on the go on NCL app, unlimited YouTube and other NPL packs. Download NCL app now or dial *123*9#.
DHI happier home. Today sahi.
25 for no loss after 4. Pokhara Avengers will be eyeing something in excess of 150. They have the depth in the batting. They've had a decent start over here. You're going to see spin from both ends. And this man has certainly started off well. Lalit Rajbanshi in the first game, he made massive impact. 3 for 6, his best in his T20 international career. And he's been one of the most successful left-arm spinners here for Nepal. And he spoke about Shikhar Dhawan, the birthday boy. The special was last evening when he played a very delightful innings. We'll talk about that. Meanwhile, Karel is just trying to find the gaps and unable to succeed at the moment.
Nice. Started with a 6, Karel. Then he's just gone quiet a little bit. 8 of 13 now. Rajbanshi, very clever bowler, premier left-arm spinner for Nepal, and that's more like it from Karel. Can't get the boundary, picked out the deep square leg fielder. Gets Andreas Gauss on strike.
Well, that's the birthday boy, Shikhar Dhawan. Yesterday certainly made it count. Got the crowd on their feet, 72 unbeaten runs in that innings of his. Gave the Karnali Yaks a moment as well. Got to a very fine 50, shifted gears in the back end of the game, remained unbeaten and carried his bat till the very end. Certainly lit up the stage with his fireworks.
Very well said, actually. Shifted gears, a very, very good word that you used. Bided his time early. There were tough periods that he got through, but then May cashed in towards the end. What's Rajbanshi got against Gauss?
Yeah, take the pace of the ball, you make it rather more difficult, Shri.
Experienced spinners they've got. Mohammad Mohsin will follow suit very soon. Thakur and Rajbanshi have been very good. The lengths have been superb. The lines have been hitting the stump, challenging the batter.
Well, this time, Andreas Gauss says enough is enough. Picks the length quickly, rocks back, and dispatches that over long on. That's a very fine strike.
Yeah, great shot. Again, number 84 for this tournament. We're at an altitude, remember, 1,500 meters above sea level. And the balls are going to travel if you hit them well. He's picked up length early. That's the key to that shot. And swung it with the angle over cow corner. Andreas Gauss is looking good. 20 of 15, 32 for no loss. This is a good start for the Avengers.
Gets stuck underneath this one. Fielder coming underneath, taken as well. One too many. That's a very fine catch by Asif. And Lalit Rajbanshi, each time he's been hit in the tournament, he comes back to get the wicket as well. As they say, revenge in the dish, best served cold.
Beautifully bowled. After getting hit for a 6, he really had the courage to throw it up. Look at that. Well flighted. It was there for Andreas Gauss. He took the bait. But just the bat turned in his hand. Could not get the distance. Rajbanshi's experience gets him a wicket. Andreas Gauss departs. 20 of 16. It's 32 for 1 after 5.
सिद्धि दाग यो निकाल्न इजी छ सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश यसको 10 हातको शक्ति छ यस्तो जसले सिद्धि दाग निकाल्न गर्छ इजी सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश
Can't wait, won't wait. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy.
DHI happier home छुट्टै छ है
Sport is in our DNA. Insta for a complete home.
Smashed for a big 6, but as he so often does, fights back and celebrates in that trademark style. The two fingers pointed to the sky. We'll see the captain come to the crease. Kushal Bertel. Golden Duck in the first game, and a change in the batting order. He says, I think I'll drop down to number 3 and let Andreas House, our overseas player, open things up alongside Dinesh Karel. This is a role he's actually started to play for the national team in at number 3 a little bit, having played his first, it was 49 T20Is up at the top. He's batted in a variety of positions since then, having had a tricky 2024 with the bat. Jimmy Neesham. I wish a very good morning to HD Ackerman. Hilton, how are you this morning, my friend? Perfect morning for cricket.
Yeah, lovely morning. The days are quite beautiful this time of year, actually. Here's the wicket again. Just caught the toe end of the bat. Nice, neat catch. Very aware of where the boundary was when holding on to that. It's a big wicket for the Bolts because he's a very dangerous player, Andries Gous.
HD, you told me about barely making a mile on the treadmill in the gym the first few days. I was inspired by your words. So I got down last night and Lalit Rajbanshi and Asif Sheikh were in there after 9 o'clock, working hard in the gym at 9 a.m. for a game. I was doing nothing as strenuous as them, I assure. This one's just sort of burst through the surface a bit. Neesham, the first bowler, really to get some significant bounce from the surface. Did open the bowling. This is his second. That one's just done something we haven't seen the whole tournament.
Yeah, this has bounced from a length significantly. Now that'll have everyone's attention. Neesham had a long, hard look at it, which has now led to both batters walking down and having a look at that area. And the important thing is not to focus too much on it now, because we've only seen that happen once in, what, 4 days, 5 days.
He's much taller than he looks, actually, Jimmy Neesham. 6'3", maybe even 6'4". Good call. Really good call from the non-striker. Carell, that'll help get his skipper off the mark. And given that he was on a pair, if you will, between the first 2 games, he'll just breathe a sigh of relief as there is the official mascot, Hamro Jeet. Jeet, our snow leopard. And we're learning all about the snow leopard. The rarest, most endangered animals anywhere in the world. One of the ideas behind this NPL is to draw attention to conservation causes, and Jeet does that brilliantly.
I don't know if you noticed Jimmy Neesham there, just when he got to the end of his run-up, how he was flicking his hand. He was just flicking his bowling hand. Now, sometimes what happens with bowlers, particularly when the weather's a little bit on the chilly side, is through their bowling action, the blood flows into their fingers and it can leave this like tingling sensation. Just flicking it again, there he is.
Pulled into the air. Fine leg comes around and holds on to a fine catch. It's the youngster, Tul Bahadur Thapa. That's an excellent grab. And the man, Carell, who plies his trade down in Auckland, is dismissed by the New Zealander.
Well, you mentioned that he's a little bit taller than he looks, Jimmy Neesham, and therefore he gets a little bit more bounce, and he comes onto the bat a little bit quicker than you expect, but that's a fine grab. That short, fine leg, had to backpedal, judged it to perfection. Neesham's in the wickets. The New Zealander was always going to have an impact on this tournament. Carell started well, goes for 10. The Avengers in early trouble here inside the power play, 34 for 2.
One left-hander replaces another. Philippe Nath comes to the crease. Jimmy Neesham wants to slip in. You can understand why. Bowled in really good rhythm here, isn't he? After what was a solid start, all of a sudden the Bolts fighting back and just putting a few wobbles into this Avengers order, which won't exactly be full of confidence given their performance in the opening game. I say I love Jeet. Really good over from James Neesham. That's going to be the end of the power play. Avengers 35 for 2.
the energy. Red Bull, असली नै रोजौँ।
म त पैसा लिन्छु आइमी पेमा चाहियो के र खर्च गर्न सजिलो कार्डबाटै किन्छु म लिन्छु म क्यास पनि पाइन्छ हो विदेशबाट आएको रकम वेलकम टु आइमी पे वालेट आइमी पे भए चाहियो के छ सबै सेट
I dare to overcome every hurdle and shine like a beacon. Presidential Graduate School, where every step leads to a new adventure.
The end of the power play. The power play 2 now, 5 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle. And there's some of the Bolts army. And loved what they did after the first and second game. They hung around at the end of play and cleaned the entire stadium alongside the TU ground staff. They wanted to set an example. They're very much about conservation too. Met plenty of them in the team hotel last night. They were getting a chance to meet with the head coach, Pupadu Dasanayaka. The Bolts army very much here in great numbers, creating good atmosphere early on Thursday morning. Turn on offer, and the keeper's missed it entirely. It'll run close to the boundary, but young Tul Bahadur Thapit as well again, and will save a single. I think it's going to be given. There's 3 byes, it will be.
We saw some untidy keeping yesterday, but that's turned significantly. Yesterday there was a whole heap of extras. Yes, there was some wides bowled, but the keepers have had their work cut out here. Not an ideal situation for the Avengers at the conclusion of the power play. 2 new batters at the crease. So the Bolts will want to rush through a few overs here.
Down the leg side will be given as a wide. One of the things I've loved about fans we've seen coming in, plenty just happy to wear their Nepal jersey. Just proud this Nepal Premier League's on the world stage now. Love these little matchups and battles between national team players who travel the world together, are great friends, but now in the NPL, they're very much rivals.
Well, that's also another way to get your name in headlights. As you bowl well against a national player, and please believe me, he goes to practice and he says to the head coach, hey, you need to have a look at this fella.
Worked around the corner for a single. If you're wondering how this league has kind of come together, what the Cricket Association of Nepal did in the formation of it was identify, this was alongside Paris Katka, the secretary, Monty Desai, the head coach, the 8 marquee players, the icon players. Now, only one of them is not a captain, that's Asif Sheikh. He was happy to give the reins over to his partner, Anil Sa. All the other 7 icon or marquee players are captains. And they're very much the most consistent and experienced cricketers. They've given a little bit of youth a chance with the likes of Kushal Malla getting to captain at this level for the first time. How's he reacted to that responsibility quite brilliantly? Really good stroke. That'll be 4. Hitting with the spin, very safe. Gets a boundary, the skipper.
Safe, but an element of risk because there's a slip in place. Saw Shikhar Dhawan nab a catch that slip with an attempted reverse sweep the other day, but this is played to perfection.
Oh, now how is this missed? Malantha thinks he might have his man. Did Bertel's back foot just leak out? Durganatsu Betty says, I'm not sure. Let's go upstairs and get a look. What a beautiful delivery. Over to Buddy Pradhan. Did he sneak out?
No problem with the front foot. Well, if this is out, it's the perfect left arm orthodox dismissal. You lure the batter into playing a stroke and it turns and the back foot drags. Malanta, quick as a flash. That'll be gone. The line belongs to the umpire. It belongs to the fielding side. That will be the end of the captain.
So often the keeper knows. Patel will have to trudge off. Another mini battle of the Nepal national team players is won by the bowler. Rajbanchi's excellent tournament continues. Patel has to trudge off, having just hit that boundary. He's gone for 6. It's 45 for 3.
Nuku solar water heaters, water purifiers, chimneys that gas off your way of quality living.
तर यो सिद्धि दाग यो निकाल्न इजी छ सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश यसको 10 हातको शक्ति छ यस्तो जसले सिद्धि दाग निकाल्न गर्छ इजी सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश
ब्याङ्किङ सेक्टरमा पहिलो पटक सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्कले ल्याएको छ सिद्धार्थ रिवार्ड्स यसमा पोइन्ट छ सिद्धार्थ ब्याङ्क सम्बन्ध सधैँभरिलाई Can't wait, won't wait. Sophie's Dark Fantasy.
Matthew Critchley will come to the crease. Very experienced player, 143 T20 matches at best of 80. Game against Leicestershire, approaching 2,000 T20 runs. A great time to get So we'll see the wrist spin, the right arm wrist spin of Mohamed Mohsin. You and I spoke about him in the pre-game show, HD. We've both been really impressed.
He's bowled beautifully in their opening 2 games. Got a lovely wrong-in. Tall man, so you get a little bit of bounce, even though this surface tends to just skid on a little bit. That can also suit the tall man because you tend to want to play back when you think that the length is short enough and then it just skips on.
There is that googly. From talking to plenty of batters who've faced him, they say he's close to unpickable. Many are playing him off the surface. Have a look at this sharp piece of glove work. There are 2 national keepers in this side, Anil Shah and Asif Sheikh. Neither of them have the gloves. They've given them to Lahiru Malanta. You can see with the swift glove work like that as to why.
A lovely bit of glove work, but what about the delivery as well? It's the perfect left arm spinner's dismissal because as a batter, you think you've got it covered, and that's why you just overbalance a little bit because you think, well, I'll just strike this through mid-wicket. Oh, not a good delivery. He's got away with absolute murder there. I just want to ask you a little bit about merchandise. Andrew, you said that teams are crowds walking around with Nepali shirts on. We've seen a couple of flags representative of the teams. Is there going to be some shirts later on down the line, maybe year 2, year 3?
Plenty of the teams already have their official shirts on sale. In fact, one of the teams, see them there, that's the official kit. One of the teams is, I think it might be Janakpur, I'll have to check it, but one of the teams is donating 200 rupees from every shirt sale towards conservation projects again. So yeah, very much something that's going to grow in time as well. But the Nepal national shirt is kind of the de facto cricket lovers' top here in Nepal. 8 bowled, 51 for 3.
Watch NPL on the go on Ncell app, unlimited YouTube and other NPL packs. Download Ncell app now or dial *123*9#.
म त पैसा लिन्छु आइमी पेमा चाहियो के र खर्च गर्न सजिलो कार्डबाटै किन्छु म लिन्छु म ब्याज पनि पाइन्छ हो विदेशबाट आएको रकम वेलकम टु आइमी पे वालेट आइमी पे भए चाहियो के छ सबै सेट
Vivo
shine like a beacon. Presidential Graduate School, where every step leads to a new adventure.
Global stage for the first time in 10 years. Paddle sweep. Just be the single. And that sold like absolute hotcakes. You can see it all around the city. And on the opening game of the tournament, Nepal, Netherlands in Texas, there's probably about 95% of the crowd wearing it.
I know that mountaineering is what many around the world associate Nepal with, but is cricket the #1 sport here?
I think in terms of popularity right now, by a distance, yes. Good use of the feet from Dilip Nath. Does he find the gap? Oh, yes, he does. One bounce across the boundary. That's going to be a Super 4 powered by NPL 4G. Really good swift footwork.
Heading with the turn. Didn't middle it, but the important thing is he found that gap between those two men patrolling that leg side boundary, the long on and the deep mid wicket.
So 15, 20 years ago, soccer would have been much more popular. And then really the journey to the 2014 T20 World Cup started to change things very significantly. It's the first major World Cup that Nepal had qualified for of mainstream sport. Technically, volleyball is the national sport. I never quite know what that means, as to who decides that or who dictates what the national sport is. And it's very, very popular here as well. But really, the only show in town when the national teams are playing, men's or women's cricket sides, is cricket. It's so popular now. And the early trendsetters, the Paras Katkas, the Gayanendra Malas, the Shakti Gauchans, the Basanta Regmis. And we saw one retire yesterday, Subhash Kakarel. He made his debut December 3rd, 2013. Now, he hasn't played for the national team for a few years, but he decided to officially come out and formally announce that retirement yesterday, 11 years on to the day. He was in that 2014 T20 World Cup team too. So many icons of the game that the younger players are now walking in the footsteps of. Seven from the 9th over, 58 for 3.
तपाईँको असली एनर्जी रेड बुल असली नै रोजो
सुजल डेयरीको उत्कृष्ट उत्पादन डिलाइट डेयरी व्हाइटनरले अब हरेक दिन डिलाइटफुल।
Kathmandu Valley, we've been blessed over the last 72 hours or so. Some quite remarkable scenes. In fact, Prabhuda Dasanayaka took his Janakpur Bolts team, the entire squad, up Chandragiri Hills. And I'm not sure if I showed you HD, but some of the footage from up there, absolutely exceptional. Could literally see Mount Everest. Time to see Tul Bahadur Thapa, the left arm wrist spinner. Really talented youngster. Shade of Kuldeep Yadav to this youngster. Spends a lot of time down in northern India working on his bowling. He's down to academies. Still very slight, not the tallest or strongest. I really like what I've seen from the wrist spinner. You look at what the umpire is seeing here with Tulbahadur Thapa. Left arm over. Picked up. Now, has he got enough of this? Put down. Oh, that should have been taken. And it's the captain, Anil Shah. It's going to be a boundary for, I think, one bounce. Poor old Tulbahadur Thapa should have had his first wicket of the competition.
The trouble when wicketkeepers go into the outfield. No, he should have held on to this. It's 4 as well. That's just to make matters worse for the fielder. That should have been a comfortable catch.
This is where you need a really good captain of a young wrist spinner. Ironically, it's the captain that's dropped the catch, because let's say the next ball gets pumped for 6, the natural inclination will be to take him out of the attack. Got to love your young wrist spinners. Look after them. How often do you see this? Ball after a drop catch. He's pumped out of the ground. I feel for Tulbahadur Thapa here. What is Anil Shah going to do?
Now, he's only a young man, so he'll get stronger, because I just feel at the moment that he bowls the ball very, very slowly, which, if you miss your length, it's just very simple for someone of Critchley's ability to get himself into position to put it away.
You're spot on. He's not right now quick enough through the air. It's to continue to develop and grow and strengthen. Goes flatter that time, hides it away outside the off stump. Problem is now, the natural inclination of Anil Shah, with all of the bowling options the Bolts will have, will be to take him off. He should have had the wicket, the key wicket of Critchley. There's only one person to blame for that, and that's the skipper himself. Oh, so nearly. I think this may well have been an underedge. Wait for the signal here. Given us runs. Is that 2 drops in the over? Yes, very tough, because it kept so low for Malanta. Halfway through the first innings. Time for a drink. The Avengers, 70 for 3.
Watch NPL on the go on 3*9#.
Bond Superlight Gel with hyaluronic acid. 200% instant hydration. Miracles happen.
Into fresh. Freshness that bonds.